Hi, Scouts and Scout families. I'm Pastor Nathaniel Chrisman, the chaplain with PAC 444, and this video is on fellowship and duty to God. It's the bare requirement so that they can fulfill their rank. As so often happens with the religious requirements that are part of the Scout program, they get put off till last. And so, very often that's the case because the den leader encourages these conversations to take place at home, which is a great place for these conversations to happen. So I want to help guide you through these so that you can do these at home well, or so that den leaders can do them with their den well. So we'll go ahead and get started. Again, this is for the bare rank. And to keep in mind in the midst of this that the Cub Scout motto is do your best. Does not have to be perfect. You don't have to be a religious expert to lead this conversation with your scout. Notice that it says complete the following requirements. It does expect you to do all of these requirements at some level, though there's options in the midst of the requirement. Option 1, or rather requirement 1, I should say, discuss with your parent, guardian, den leader, or other caring adult what it means to do your duty to God. Tell how you do your duty to God in your daily life. Again, I encourage that this be something that you allow the scout to lead. So ask the scout the question, what do you think it means to live out your duty to God? Or what do you think it means to have a duty to God? Or what does that mean to you? And allow the scout to give those answers, especially at this age. Allow the scout to give those answers and help them unpack what that might mean to them without really guiding them too much, but allowing them to explore what that might mean for them. Option 2, complete at least one of the following. Identify a person whose faith you admire and discuss this person with your family. Or option B, with a family member, provide service to a place of worship or a spiritual community, school, or community organization that puts into practice your ideals of duty to God and strengthens your fellowship with others. So you have two possible options there. You can pick one. So you can either discuss a person whose faith you admire. That could be a person that's in your own family, in your own household, someone you know. It could be a historical figure if you wanted to go that direction as well. But someone whose faith you admire and who lives that out in a powerful way, or lived it out in a powerful way, and have that conversation with your scout. Also then, you can provide some service of worship in a place of worship, or in some place where that makes sense for you to do that. So you can participate in the worship service. Again, it's very common age for youth to be participating in worship in some level. So this is a great way to be plugged into that and encourage them to be plugged into a community that they already part of, or encourage them to explore a community that they've never been part of and what that might mean for them. Option 3, complete at least one of the following. A, earn the religious emblem of your faith that is appropriate for your age, if you have not already done so. B, make a list of things you can do to practice your duty to God as you are taught in your home or place of worship or spiritual community. Select 2 of the items and practice them for 2 weeks. So option A is the religious emblem. And for all of the duty to God requirements for every rank, that is one option. One of the things I want to point out about the religious emblem, it has a very specific set of requirements, and depending on your religious institution, those can be very involved. Sometimes they take a few weeks, sometimes they take months. So you'll want to talk to your chaplain or your religious leader of whatever institution you're part of, if you're part of a religious institution, about how to go about doing those. It's not something you're going to be able to do quickly. That is something that requires a lot more work, a lot more time, a lot more effort, but it can be very rewarding. Also, when you earn your religious emblem, it carries over with you into the troop. So it is not only a Cub Scout award, but it's also a troop award. So you can carry that with you into the troop. It's one of the few things that you can carry with you from Cub Scouts. So it's a good thing to work on it at some point in your Cub Scout ranking. if this is a good time to do it as a bear, I encourage you then to consider that. Option B, there's make a list of things that you can practice your duty to God, and then to choose 2 that you will do, I believe, for 2 weeks. Yes, for 2 weeks. Again, something that you can decide on as your family, but I would encourage your scout to allow your scout to pick those 2 things, or at least to give options, and you can help guide that a little bit and decide what those things are, and then help your scout keep track of those things as they make sense. I mean, it can be all manner of things. Something as simple as prayer before meal or before bedtime would be an easy thing to do. If you have a practice of reading scripture, that could easily be incorporated into that as well. If you have a practice of reading stories that connect to your faith, that could be a practice as part of that as well. So any of those practices would work. Again, I encourage you to have fun doing this, to keep it simple, keep it enjoyable, and to do your best. Take care.